The encounter captain Sarah Holt stood on the bridge of the Defiance, her eyes scanning the vast expanse of the galaxy through the large viewport. It had been a routine patrol through an uncharted region, a quiet part of the universe where humans had never ventured before. The sensors blinked quietly, with no signs of any hostile ships or nearby anomalies. She leaned back in her chair, allowing herself a moment of peace. That peace shattered the moment the alert went off. "Captain, we've picked up an unknown fleet. On long-range scanners," said Lieutenant Mason, his voice tense. "They're massive, and they're heading straight for us." Sarah's instincts kicked in. She'd encountered space pirates, hostile alien races, and countless other dangers in her career, but nothing had prepared her for this. The fleet on the scanner was far too large to be a standard patrol or exploration force. These were warships, crafted with deadly precision. But it wasn't just the ships that sent a chill through her bones. It was the faint markings on their hulls. "Vaxiri," she whispered. Her crew stared at her, confused. "The Vaxiri are the deadliest predators in the galaxy. They don't simply conquer. They wipe out entire species, and they're coming for us." The transmission crackled to life, and a deep reptilian voice echoed through the Defiance's comm system. "Humanity," it growled. "You are a plague upon the galaxy. We are the Vaxiri, predators of the stars. Your time has come." The captain's heart skipped a beat. These were the beings that had terrorized other civilizations. But she was not one to back down easily. She turned to her crew, her face hardening with determination. "Prepare for battle. We fight for humanity's survival." The last stand. The first wave of Vaxiri ships hit hard. The Defiance's shields were quickly overwhelmed by the intense barrage of fire, the ship shaking violently as blast after blast rocked it to its core. Captain Holt's hands flew over the controls, ordering evasive maneuvers as her crew scrambled to maintain control of the ship. The Vaxiri ships, massive and aggressive, closed in like wolves on a wounded deer. "We can't hold them off for long, Captain," shouted Lieutenant Mason, his face pale from the stress. "Their weapons are too powerful." Sarah's voice remained steady. "We hold the line. This is humanity's chance to show what we're made of." The crew worked tirelessly, responding to each new attack with coordinated precision. Despite the overwhelming odds, humanity's ships fought with a ferocity that the Vaxiri hadn't anticipated. The human soldiers aboard the Defiance knew no fear. They fought not just for survival, but for the future of their species. Sarah gritted her teeth as she watched the battle unfold. "All hands, brace for impact!" she yelled as a massive blast struck the ship's side. The Defiance shuddered, but the crew held firm. Then, with a snap of her fingers, Sarah made a decision. "Execute Plan Delta, full acceleration toward the gravity well. We're drawing them in." Her orders were met with confusion at first, but then understanding. The gravity well of a nearby star was their best shot at outmaneuvering the Vaxiri. The Defiance shot toward the star, its engines roaring to life as it entered the deadly pull of the gravity field. The Vaxiri followed, their ships eager for the kill. But they didn't realize that they were walking right into a trap, the Predator's mistake. As the Defiance plummeted into the gravitational pull of the star, Captain Holt's fingers danced across the console, initiating a secret weapon. The Vaxiri were too focused on the Defiance to notice the trap being sprung. Just as they entered the gravity well, the human ship fired a powerful EMP burst. The Vaxiri ships, unable to cope with the sudden jamming of their systems, faltered. For a brief moment, their advanced technology sputtered and failed, leaving them helpless. "Yes," Sarah exclaimed as the Vaxiri ships drifted aimlessly in space. "Now hit them with everything we've got." The human fleet, using the advantage of better maneuverability and now disrupted Vaxiri ships, unleashed a brutal assault. Laser beams, torpedoes, and missiles fired relentlessly into the Vaxiri vessels, tearing apart their once unstoppable ships. One by one, the Vaxiri warships exploded in brilliant flashes of light, their crew members scrambling for control that they no longer had. On the Vaxiri flagship, Commander Korath, watching the unfolding disaster, hissed in rage. "These humans, They are more resilient than we thought. But even as his fleet began to fall apart, Korath refused to admit defeat. We may have underestimated them, but we will not be bested. Regroup and prepare for a counterattack. The turning tide weeks passed after the battle, and while the humans celebrated their victory, the Vaxiri were not content to retreat. Korath, determined to avenge the losses and restore his people's dominance, began plotting a new strategy. This time it would not be just about a direct assault. He would lure humanity into a trap where they would have no escape. In the midst of the preparations for the next battle, Captain Holt received a transmission from an unexpected source. The transmission was crackling and unclear, but one voice emerged clearly from the static. "You, humans, have something we've never seen before." Korath's voice sounded more intrigued than hostile. "Your resilience, your spirit, it is unlike anything we've encountered. You are more dangerous than we thought." Sarah's lips curled into a smile, though she knew this was a sign of even greater danger ahead. "You should have stayed away from us, Korath," she responded, her voice firm. "We don't stop fighting. We fight for each other, for our future. And you won't take that from us." Korath's voice grew darker. "This is not over, Captain Holt. We will return, and this time your species will fall. Mark my words." As the transmission ended, Sarah steeled herself for the battles to come. The Vaxiri were persistent, but humanity had something the Vaxiri could never comprehend: the will to survive, no matter the cost. The hunt begins. The next phase of the war was not about ship-to-ship battles. The Vaxiri had learned that humanity's strength wasn't just in their warships, but in their ability to fight in ways that were unconventional. Korath began to target human colonies, forcing humanity's best forces to deploy covert operations deep in enemy territory. Captain Holt's new mission was one of subterfuge. Human special forces were sent to Vaxiri-controlled systems to extract key intelligence. The threat was real. Korath's forces were setting traps, using human colonies as bait to lure larger predators into a galactic showdown. Sarah's heart sank as she realized what the Vaxiri were planning. "They're not just hunting us. They're using us as bait to draw in other predators from the galaxy. This has gone beyond just a war. It's an all-out hunt." As the Defiance's crew infiltrated the Vaxiri Empire, Sarah's team discovered that Korath had not only managed to recruit mercenaries but had also begun manipulating galactic politics. The predators, who had once only hunted in small packs, were now preparing for something larger, a galactic scale hunt. The final reckoning. The final battle took place on the fringes of the galaxy, on a dark planet surrounded by a dense nebula. Korath had anticipated this final strike, positioning his forces to make it seem like an ambush. But humanity, ever resourceful, had found a way to turn the tables once more. "Now, we finish this," Captain Holt muttered, as she watched the Vaxiri fleet begin to converge on their position. As the battle erupted, it became clear the Vaxiri were not prepared for humanity's tactics. With precision timing, the human fleet launched an assault, flanking the Vaxiri ships from every angle. The Vaxiri, unable to adapt to humanity's guerrilla warfare tactics, began to fall one by one. The Vaxiri commander, Korath, was trapped. His ship, the flagship of his empire, was surrounded by human forces. In a final, desperate attempt, Korath launched an all-out attack on Earth itself, hoping to destroy the heart of humanity's power. But Sarah and her crew were ready. The Defiance dove into the heart of Korath's fleet, using a powerful weapon developed in secret by the humans. The final blow that would shatter the Vaxiri Empire once and for all, the explosion that followed, was the end of an era for the Vaxiri. Their reign as the galaxy's most feared predators was over. The once unstoppable hunters were now on the run. Humanity had shown the galaxy that no one, not even the deadliest predators, could outlast them. The stars had witnessed the rise of a new force, the humans who had once been hunted, but were now the ones making the hunt.